It's time, ladies and gentlemen, to talk about TNA Turning Point, which is this Sunday on pay-per-view. This is Be the Booker. We're going to look at the matches as they are announced and figure out how this guy would book it. Be the Booker for Turning Point starts right now. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Be the Booker, PWR, Be the Booker for TNA Turning Point, which is this Sunday on pay-per-view.
It's TNA Impact Wrestling's Turning Point.
This Sunday, I couldn't tell it wasn't underlined. This Sunday on pay-per-view, Damian Nelson standing here alongside David Octavius and Tiberius, the alleged backyard one-time Karl Rove Hall of Famer hero. And let's do what we do in this segment.
Karl Rove?
Well, I mean, you have a denial issue as well. Let's do what we do in this segment, which is look at the matches announced as of this taping, one by one, and determine who you would think or who you would book as the winner in each of these scenarios. The first match we're going to talk about.
So you want me to book this pay-per-view how I would do it?
That's, I think, what I just said.
So we're not doing predictions? This is...
Why don't you tell yourself that?
This is my theory.
It becomes a prediction when you get it right. When you get it wrong, it was just a prediction.
It was a prediction.
God.
There's a thought. There's an opinion.
Devon Dudley versus Kurt Angle, ladies and gentlemen. This matchup to occur Sunday at Turning Point in Orlando, Florida.
The man-at-arms, Devon, against the Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle. Who would have thought in 2012 that match would happen on pay-per-view? Did you?
I can't say I've ever given any thought.
This match here, Devon needs to get this big victory over Kurt Angle.
Devon representing the Aces and Eights.
Aces and Eights, and you know what? If they're going to keep rolling and more shenanigans and keep wearing all these different hoods and masks and nonsense.
What's the difference between a hood and a mask? If they're the same thing that you've been trying to tell us for years.
It is the same thing, but I know how...
Cobra Commander had a hood and a mask.
I know how jerky you get when I mention hood instead of mask.
Well, it's somewhat offensive to me.
Yes, of course. Devon Dudley has to win. By hook or by crook, Devon Dudley has got... If he doesn't win, they have got to beat down Kurt Angle. Because right now, Kurt Angle, besides Sting and Hulk Hogan, is the face of TNA Impact Wrestling. He is their all-American good guy. And for the Aces and Eights to make a statement going forward, they got to take out the Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle.
No disqualification, and this one is for the television championship as Samoa Joe defends his championship against Magnus. And David, I for one am a fan of what has been happening between these two over the last several weeks on Thursday nights on Impact Wrestling. It culminates in this matchup Sunday at Turning Point. No disqualification should make it interesting.
It should make it interesting. It's going to be a fight. These two guys, they've been this program now for a little while, the last couple months, going back and forth and back. Samoa Joe, Magnus, and Samoa Joe. The fact of the matter is this, it's a no DQ. And if you've built up Samoa Joe to be this butt-kicking submission machine, he's got to win a no DQ match. He has got to win it. He's got to make Magnus tap. If Magnus doesn't tap, he's going to pass out. Samoa Joe leaves TNA Impact Wrestling's Turning Point, still the television champion.
Do you want to get that?
No, it's fine. It'll go to voicemail.
Well, you know what's, when you talk about Samoa Joe and we talk about Abyss, who has obviously not been seen recently in TNA wrestling, is TNA's missing a monster? They don't have a monster.
They got Rob Terry.
An actual monster who, when they come out, you know that they're going to
You have
destroy.
All the Aces and Eights. That's their monster right now.
Really? Really?
It is. That's taking the place of it right now.
Tag Team Championship titles will be on the line. Kaz and Daniels will go up against the team of Chavo, Guerrero, and Supermex Hernandez. This should be a great wrestling contest.
It should be a fantastic wrestling match. And you know, Kaz and Daniels have been nothing but solid from day one. They have taken the ball and they have ran with it. They have yet to fumble it. They have yet to kick it out of bounds. They have been consistent.
Wrestling, you know.
I know, but you know, we have all different kinds of fans out there. They've been nothing but consistent. Chavo and Supermex, yes, they are the tag team champions. They're a very good team, a very solid team, dependable team. But right now, these two guys, I think they need the win or they get lost in the shuffle. And I would like to believe that Kaz and Daniels steal the tag team championships from Chavo and Supermex.
Get them back, huh?
Absolutely.
This is a good program. Again,
as
we talked about in the matchup before as well, some good stories being told here.
Now, keep in mind, I can't picture Kaz and Daniels losing and then them just being stuck in neutral in the tag team division. Now, yeah, there's other tag teams. You still have Robbie E and Rob Terry.
Sweaters.
You still have Gunner and Kid Cash, which I think could be a very good tag team. I think they'd have a great program with Chavo and Mex. But let these two guys go back and forth for a little while. I think it could be for some very entertaining television.
Speaking of entertaining, you know what we need to? We got to replace this with a magic wall. The networks have some they're not using right now.
You know what? Yeah.
They were done with them.
I would like to just push stuff away. That would be great.
You know, that reminds me of, what was it, Minority Report? Remember when they had the...
That's us. We're the Minority Report.
Number 1 contenders matchup for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, ladies and gentlemen. Another match that should be tremendous and a lot of story to be told.
This is going to be crazy.
Bobby Roode versus James Storm versus AJ Styles. 3 men, but 1 shot at the number 1 contender spot for the TNA Championship.
It's more than just that. Because the guy that gets pinned does not get a title shot until next year's Bound for Glory.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, that's big stakes in this matchup.
And right now, these are like 3 of your top 5 guys in the company. Bobby Roode, James Storm, AJ Styles, all 3 former TNA Impact Wrestling World Heavyweight Champions. All 3 guys chasing Jeff Hardy or Austin Aries. It's a coin flip.
It's a whiteboard.
It's honestly, for me, if I have to pick number 1 contender.
This one's tricky.
It is tricky.
You got to think about who can go a year or who can get out of not going a year with a championship shot.
You know what? You kind of have to believe AJ Styles needs to win this match. He does.
Who loses the match, though? Who gets pinned? Because that's equally important. James, really?
James Storm.
So you'll be sorry about his damn luck.
James Storm, if I'm booking this,
which you are, right?
What better way to get the fans behind him than for James Storm to lose? Now he's out of the world title picture until Bound for Glory, until next October. And all he does is prove himself every week, every month. Big matches, best matches on the show. Big victories, setbacks, forward and back. Get the fans emotionally invested in him. Right now, AJ Styles winning this is a great matchup for either Austin Aries or for Jeff Hardy. But I can definitely see AJ Styles winning. I can see James Storm losing. Bobby Roode is the X factor, I guess you could say, in this match. The it factor. But we've already seen him wrestle Austin Aries and Jeff Hardy several times. I like AJ Styles to leave TNA Impact Wrestling's turning point as the number 1 contender.
And your point, very valid about AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy, Austin Aries. You put 3 of those in any type of hat, draw any 2 names. And let's not forget,
AJ Styles survived that, what was her name? Claire Huxtable, whatever gimmick thing that was.
It's a project they were working on.
Yeah. I mean, he survived that mess.
It was a mess.
And hey, why not make their AJ as big of a star again as the other company's AJ?
Turning Point this Sunday coming to us from Orlando, Florida. I'm going to be in the Impact Zone, David Hero, and there's a couple more matches happening. Of course, though, they had not been announced as of the time of this taping, but before your panties into a bundle, go on over to TNA PWR Sudden Impact Radio, where Meathead and Matthew gave you their choices on those additionally announced matchups after Impact went off the air this past Thursday night. That available at our website, pwrshow.com. Let's review for those of you who
Did
were
you
not
really just cross my name off here?
No, I did that a long time ago. TNA Turning Point this Sunday. Devon Dudley would defeat Kurt Angle if David Hero had the pencil, and Samoa Joe would retain the television championship. Kaz and Daniels would become the new tag team champions, defeating Chavo and Supermex. Hernandez, number 1 contender for the championship, becomes AJ Styles by defeating and pinning somehow or another James Storm, who won't get a chance at a title shot until next year's Bound for Glory. That is some high stakes in this pay-per-view event. Solid matchup, solid wrestling to be had, but there is one more matchup, David Hero, and it's a ladder match. It's for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, and it will be this Sunday at Turning Point. One man will walk out with the gold, and you got to think this is one of Austin Aries' last chances to get his championship back from Jeff Hardy. To find out how we see that match going, tune into the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime Saturday, which is tomorrow night, available online at pwrshow.com, and of course in southeastern Wisconsin on My 24 Milwaukee. The main event tomorrow night.
We're not doing it now?
I believe I just pretty much clearly said that.
They are going to be angry.
Well, good things come to those who wait, David.
His fault.
That was my decision.
This guy right there.
It's the right thing to do. Anyways, I am ready to make a major projection, though, ladies and gentlemen. I hereby project that there will be a winner.
Are you really doing this?
There will be a winner in that ladder match at Sunday's Turning Point, and we will give you the details on who that person probably will be tomorrow night on Primetime. It's a projection. That's what we do.
You are just that guy.
What do you mean I'm that guy? I'm Damian Nelson, standing right here before you. We'll see you tomorrow night on Primetime, ladies and gentlemen. Again, for the rest of the matchups, tune into Sudden Impact Radio, available right here on YouTube and online at pwrshow.com for that one. This is Damian Nelson saying we'll see you tomorrow on Primetime.
Oh, yes! It's here! Our new magic wall for Be the Booker. Let's see. How do you get John King to teach me how to do this? How do you make it work? Magic wall! Magic wall! Silly me. Probably got it at home. You need this. I'm going to use these. Cinema 3D glasses. The magic wall's in 3D? Tremendous. I don't know if these match my prescription. All right. Dang it. This thing doesn't work. Spent $70,000 on this thing. Is it plugged in? Oh, you know what? I bet that damn David was back here playing with this and probably watching some Skinamax on Friday when it got delivered to his house. David! Why doesn't the magic wall work?